Florida First-Time Home Buyer Program, the Florida Assist Program, or FL Assist is what they're calling it, helping first-time home buyers in Florida. What is the Florida Assist Program? Well, Florida Assist Program offers up to $10,000 in down payment and closing costs assistance to be eligible for assistance to eligible first-time home buyers. The assistance comes as a 0% interest, non-amortizing, deferred second mortgage. Okay, this is actually really, really good. It means you won't have to make monthly payments on this loan, and it doesn't accrue interest over time. So let me break that down for you for a second. So you're buying a property, you qualify for this program, and they give you $10,000, right? You use it towards your closing costs, use part of it towards your down payment, whatever, however that works out, right? And then that $10,000 just sits there. So if you buy the house and then 30 years later you turn around and you sell that house, then in 30 years it's still just going to be $10,000, which, in 30 years $10,000 is going to be peanuts, right? But it's still just going to be $10,000. The only time you pay it back, and we'll see, I'm sure we'll see this when we get down farther, the only time you pay it back is when you sell the house or transfer it or refinance or do something like that. So you just got to be aware of that. But this is free money. It's literally free money. They give you the money, it just sits there. Because normally what do loans do? They accrue interest and they get, they start getting more and more expensive over time. This isn't doing that. That's great. Okay. The program is funded by the Florida Housing Finance Corporation, state agency dedicated to helping Floridians obtain safe and affordable housing. Okay. And who's eligible? First-time buyer status. You must not have owned a home or occupied your primary residence within the last 3 years. Did you know this? If you have not owned a home in the last 3 years, even if you owned 50 homes in the past, but you just haven't owned one in the last 3 years, you are now considered a first-time buyer again. Tell people this, because I get these calls all the time. They're like, well, I don't qualify. I'm not a first-time buyer. I owned a house 10 years ago. No, you are a first-time home buyer. You can take advantage of these programs. Let people know, okay? And that's across the country. Credit score, you got to have a 640 or better. That's required. Income and purchase price limits. Income and the purchase price of the home must be below the limits that are set for the county in which you are buying. So they're going to be variable all over the place. You just need to check with the specialist in that area who is offering these programs to make sure that you're within those limits, right? Homebuyer education, you got to complete an approved homebuyer education course. It's mandatory and it's easy, it's simple. You must work with a lender participating in the program. Yeah, okay. So now this is where this is important, and this can be a potential challenge because we just said that where to go? It's set forth by the limits for each different county. Well, maybe there's a bank in Florida. They're licensed to operate in the entire state of Florida, all 67 counties, but because it's different for every single county, sometimes loan officers tend to be like, oh man, I don't want to do this program because then I got to, as it's people are buying in different areas, they've got to figure out how the heck do I keep on top of all of this? It takes extra work and all this stuff. On the other hand, there are some loan officers who love working with first-time buyers and who will do this. And if you know a loan officer they love working with first-time buyers and they're familiar with this program, the Florida Assist, FL Assist program, then definitely have them come to firsttimehomebuyerprogram.org. Click on the spotlight button. We'd love to spotlight them, put their name and number right on this post so that other people can reach out directly to them and know that, hey, they are the ones who are specializing and taking care of people who are doing this. Okay, so that's the challenge, finding the approved. And I'm going to throw one more thing in here. There's a lot of the big banks that are approved, but will they actually do the program? In 30 years of doing this, I've seen it where lots of banks, they get approved because they're kind of required to, There's different mandates and things like that, but a lot of times they just won't do it, and they'll try to push you into a different loan program. I want to make a connection with somebody who is an individual that we can put right here. Okay. Benefits of the program: no monthly payments on that deferred second loan. It's non-amortizing. You don't have any payments on it, and just makes your homeownership more journey more affordable. Substantial assistance up to $10,000 can reduce a lot of the burden of buying a home. Potential drawbacks: repayment upon certain events. The loan becomes due in full if you sell, transfer, or refinance your first mortgage. Okay, or if you cease to occupy the property, that's another thing. If you say you're keeping the property but you turn it into a rental, then that money becomes due. So you got to factor that in. Okay. Application process: so check out eligibility, complete the homebuyer education, contact an approved lender, and I've got there's a link down here at the bottom for the Florida Housing Finance Corporation. So there's a link right there. You can go and it'll give you access to that program. Wait, where were we? Oh yeah, contact an approved lender, apply for the FL Assist through your lender, and finalize the purchase. Okay, so once you're approved, then you get the money. Availability: it is available statewide in Florida, so no matter where you're looking to buy within the state, you can apply. And kind of just goes over the same thing here. Okay, kind of repeats some stuff there. So anyway, it's there. You can come here, firsttimehomebuyerprogram.org, go to the bottom of the page and get the link to find out who the approved lenders are in the area. But like I said, if you know a loan officer who's doing the FL Assist, send them here. Click on Spotlight. All right, take care.